So, I did the video earlier. And basically, I did the video earlier. And then throughout the day, God just started talking to me. So when he started talking to me, I do another video, which is this video on the back end. And I put it first. So I already said what I was going to say because I do the video early in the morning. And then he always come. He always come with something extra to say after I do the video. So then I'm like, I got to redo the video and then I got to put it first. So basically that's what I'm doing right now. So in the earlier video, I was just saying that God, he had just showed me, these people, certain people, and they basically they're basically like the Walking Dead. Like what he's showing me is that, they already on the other side basically. And I was speaking on it in the video you're gonna watch. But after I did that video and just said what was being spoken and being told to me to say, he came and he was just like, just offer hope. Just speak on hope and try to encourage people, because even though, what I saw is what I saw, he said that it's a variable in the equation. He said what I saw is not set in stone. Normally, some of the stuff I see, I told y'all, it be set in stone. But then some of the stuff I told you, you can change it. He said this is one of those things that you can actually change. So it don't have to be just what I saw and what he showed me. And he was just saying that it is hope in this situation. So for this person who he showed me, that I was saying was basically like the Walking Dead, because they still alive, but they don't know. Their time is short. But he telling me their time is short. He said that basically, when you pray, he said that, just ask for him to, just ask for him to extend your life. He said just like with Hezekiah, and when you get a chance, just read Hezekiah. But Hezekiah, the angel of death was sent to Hezekiah, and he prayed to God. And when he prayed to God, God had a change of heart and extended his life. He said it's the same situation. He said he's going to have a change of heart. He said if you go to him and you pray to him and you just ask him to extend your life, like in your prayers and stuff like that. Some people be like, oh, God, thank you for this day. Thank you for everything been going on. He said you need to pray and ask him to extend your life. And then he said he will have favor and your life will be extended and it won't be what I saw. He said that. And then he also said, because this person who he showed me, they was in a bad place. I'm saying like that. They was in a bad place. They didn't die and just go to this little happy place. This illusion that they be telling these people. Walking blind, his sheep. Sheep believing everything going on that ain't what it is. So this person who he showed me was not in no happy place. But he said you can change that situation. For one, go to him, ask him to extend your life when you pray. Don't just pray for this, that. Ask for an extension of your life. And he's going to give it to you. He's going to have favor with you. He's going to show you grace because God is good. So he said if you ask him, he's going to give it to you. So he said he's going to give you the extra lifeline if you ask. And he also said that if you change, he said he's giving you a chance to change. So what I saw ain't got to be what it is. It ain't set in stone. It's a variable. So he's saying to change your ways. Live for him. Change how you living. Like, if everybody knew, like, the life that they live now determine what they will be after they live, which is hidden from them. He said a lot of people wouldn't even live this life, live the life that they living. Like, it's a lot of stuff a lot of people want to do, but people are deceived. So that's why they doing what they do. But if they only knew, and if they knew, everybody would be in a happy place if they knew. So he was just saying that not only, when you pray to him at night to ask him to extend your lifeline, which he said he's going to have favor with it. He said also to change how you living. Live and walk for him. Be about him. If you know he don't like it, then don't do it. Be a reflection of him. We all trying to be a reflection of him. I'm tickled about my hair, y'all. I be so busy, I ain't even had a chance to do it. I probably flat earn it, but it probably be later on. But yeah. So he said do that. He said that if you do that, he said it's a variable in the equation. He said when you're dealing with variables, that means it's room for change. So like when you deal with a variable, depending on how you change up the equation, can kind of determine a different outcome of the situation. He said the same thing. Like the way you decide that you want to live your life will determine a different outcome than what has already been set. It's already in motion. He said the outcome will change. So he said those two things to offer words of encouragement. He said do not disclose who. He said because he said right now that's really irrelevant, and really what I'm saying really need to apply to everybody, include me. What he's saying need to apply to everybody, include me, y'all. So he said we all need to, just pray for him to, extend our life. He said he'll have grace with that, you know. And then he said also just try to be a reflection of him. Like, it's something he don't like, then and you doing it, then he said that's not a reflection of him. You can't, like, he wants you to walk wholeheartedly with him. He wants your heart to be in the right place with him. He don't want you just to be like, oh, yeah, God, I thank you for everything. Yeah, just this redundancy. And your heart is far from him. Your words is close to him. Yeah, God, I thank you. Yeah, God, you the best God in the world, but your heart, and through your heart is your actions is far from him. So he said, get your heart right. Get your heart in alignment with him. And he said, when you pray, ask for him to extend your life. Because a lot of people, they don't really pray that prayer because they don't know. They don't know their lifeline. If you knew how long you got, you probably would be praying all day, every day about extending your life. But he said that is hidden from us. Our actual time is hidden from us. But he said, you pray that prayer, he's going to have favor. And if you change your heart, he's going to have favor. So what I saw ain't even really even what it got to be. But based on the life you have lived all the way up to this point, what I saw is what it is. And from this point forward, you have the ability to change that based on what you choose to do. What I saw is a variable. God said it's not locked. Like some of the stuff I see be locked. He said this situation is not locked. And he said he's going to actually have favor in this situation. If you go before him with, I'm just giving you a heads up of what he's saying. And that's all he's saying. He just said just offer words of encouragement and hope dealing with this situation, dealing with this lost soul that I saw. He said that if you do those things right there, he said he's going to have favor and he's going to show you grace in the situation. But you know how it say that God said his people perish from lack of knowledge. So if we perishing from lack of knowledge, then what we need to be doing is trying to understand and learn as much as possible. Instead of just not trying to seek the truth in the situation. So he said, you do those two things. He said, it'll be a change in the equation, and it's hope for this situation and hope for this soul. But he said that it's some things you're going to have to do. It's some things you're going to have to do to change the situation. So that's all you want me to say. Y'all have a blessed day. Enjoy y'all day. And this is a Saturday Sabbath. Yeah, I have to make a call. I gotta make it known. It's Saturday Sabbath. Ding, 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 ding. Saturday Sabbath. And y'all enjoy y'all day. Good morning. Today is Saturday Sabbath. And I told you from the other videos, I just talk off the top of my head. So I have no clue what I'm going to even say. It's just I start talking, and then whatever come out my mouth, that's what God want me to say. It's so simple. I ain't had no visions. Normally, I ain't had no visions. Nothing that I feel like is worth speaking on. The visions don't never stop. But I'm trying to think, like, is there anything in particular that's standing out there I need to talk about? And ain't nothing really, just like, nothing right now is blank. So I'm just talking off the top of my head. And really, this is like just for self-reflection. This is all about self-reflection. And God is giving us time. Like, he understands that nobody's perfect. And God, if you living to see another day, that means you got another day to get it right. What is going on? Satan is attack God. See, that's what I'm talking about. Not today, Satan. He was mad when I called him a scorned woman. Yesterday, everything was going wrong. He can't physically harm me, but he can inconvenience me. And yesterday, my whole day was inconvenienced behind that video about him being a scorned woman. My whole day was inconvenienced. I kept my peace though, y'all. I ain't get mad, because I already knew. Now. But yesterday, yeah, the whole day. Everything, like everything that could spiritually go wrong, is everything that could be off was off behind that video. So this morning, my voice, I'm like, what is he doing to my voice? Like, not today, Satan. I told you I'm gonna send you to the abyss, so leave me alone. Leave me alone, cause I'm gonna rebuke you. Satan, I rebuke you. Go back to the abyss. Now get to walking in Jesus' name. So you gonna stop playing with me. Because I'm sending you one place. The one place you ain't trying to go. Back to the abyss. You are none of those demons. They don't want to be there. They don't want to be there, y'all. So, if he come my way, I just rebuke him, send him straight to the abyss where he got to go. And then, and that's just what it's going to be. With the authority God gave me. I know, y'all. I'm be looking at my hair. God be having me doing these videos. And, like, when I'm, like, fix myself up, look halfway decent, he ain't got nothing to say. But then soon my hair all over my head. I got one lash on, one lash off. I'm taking my braids out my hair. God, like, okay, do a video. I'm tickled. Y'all, God funny, but I'm over it now. I was just like, okay, what I need to say? I'm over it now. So, it's self-reflection, y'all. During this time, we need to try to establish ourselves and get ourselves right with God. He's preparing a place for us. This is not the end. We got a whole nother life to live outside this life. And what you do on this earth determines where you go. So, it's not about doing good deeds. It's not about doing good deeds. It's about, did you have a relationship with Jesus? Did you accept Jesus as your Savior? Like, your whole purpose on earth is to accept Jesus as your Savior, because it's only one way to get to heaven. It's only one way. The doctrine, the false doctrine of all these different ways to get to heaven is a lie. It's coming straight from Satan himself. If you believe such a thing, it's only one way to get there. And if you do it any other, and if you believe it's any other way to get to heaven, you have been deceived. It's only one way you can possibly get to heaven. And while we on earth, our whole purpose is to set ourselves up to be able to have access into heaven. So, Jesus is the only way. If you died, I don't care how good of a person you were, what you did, what you didn't do, if you didn't accept Christ and you did not walk that godly walk that you're supposed to walk on this earth, you was not in that happy place. You was not in that happy place. Now, people lie to themselves to bring closure to themselves, to say, yeah, this loved one is resting in peace, but it's no peace if they didn't do that while they was on earth. Our time is short. And to cope, some people just put in their mind, yeah, this person resting. But, I beg to differ. Especially if they didn't, and they wasn't like, because, if they was on this earth and they did not walk their walk with God and live their walk with God, they not with God. I'm just gonna say it like that. If they was on this earth and doing their time on this earth, if they wasn't walking their walk with God, living for God, they didn't die and then just go to God. If you don't claim God right now while you on this earth, when you die, You think you're going to just be allowed to just have access to go into the heavens to dwell with him while you was on this earth? You denied him? You think he going to just give you access all of a sudden to just, yeah, you could just come up here and just kick it and chill. And while you was on earth, you did everything that was against him? Like, do you think he really just allowing these people just to go and just be and just parlay and just have just this good life outside of this earth? And while they was on this earth, they did any and everything that was possibly against him and deterred many people away from him. But now they just in this happy place. Satan is a lie, y'all. That's deception. That's deception at its finest. So, while y'all here and y'all living, y'all got a chance to get it right. So work on getting yourself close to God, doing what God wants you to do. Doing good deeds do not get you in heaven. Doing good deeds, ooh, this person was a good person, but if you didn't have God in you, if you didn't accept Jesus as your own, your good deeds was just in vain. It means nothing. Your good deeds mean nothing if you didn't, if Jesus and God is not a part of it. Then I don't care what you do. I don't care how many millions you give to the homeless. It means nothing to God unless you do what the Bible is saying you should be doing. And it's accepting his son who died for us all, who died for humanity. So if you don't claim Jesus and you don't believe he died for your sins, that means you telling God that everything he did pertaining to Jesus and allowing him to come to this earth for us, it all was in vain. Like basically that's what you telling God. It was a slap in his face for him to release his son to the earth for humanity. Everything that he did, everything that Bible about, if you don't believe that Jesus is the way, then you rejecting God. And you telling God that everything that he did and how he sent his son was just a waste of his time, so to speak. Like you just really just telling God that. Because I'm trying to put it in a like mentally, I'm just trying to put it trying to word it in a way where you can understand the dynamics of you denying Christ, what you actually really doing when you say you deny Christ. Because it's deeper than you saying, well, it's other ways to get there. It's no other ways to get there. It's only one way to get there. He sent the way to get there. He wanted to send his own son if it was other ways to get there. He did it because that's what had to be done, and it's only one way to go back. And he understands that people is going to deny him. He's not even looking for numbers. He don't care if you got a million followers. He ain't even looking for numbers. He might ask me to just say something. It might be 1,000 people. He might be just trying to reach one soul out of the 1,000. He is not stressing it like that. He really ain't, because he already know he gave us free will, and he already know what's tied and intertwined with this free will that he gave us. And he know we in the flesh. So, I'm just saying in so many words, like, when you say that it's other ways to get to heaven, other than the one way that he sent, which was through his son to clear us of our sins, it's like you saying that Jesus died in vain. And when Jesus was on this earth and the death that he took on and what he actually went through, it's just like kind of like a slap in his face to even say that. Like, it's kind of insulting to tell a person that you died. Your death really don't hold the weight that you saying it's supposed to. I'm trying to find the words, y'all, because spiritually I got the word, but it's like a translation from heaven to earth. So I'm trying to find this translation. So, but it's deep. When you sit there, it's kind of like blasphemy. It's kind of like you blasphemy if you say that him coming and dying for us really was unnecessary, and it's really other ways to get there. Like, it's really a form of blasphemy if you ask me. So, I'm just saying, y'all, get yourself together. Do not be deceived by the enemy. It's only one way to get to heaven. If you a parent, your goal and your purpose is to teach your kids about God and Jesus so that they can make it to their place. That's your whole purpose. Not to teach them the culture. You're supposed to teach them about God and Jesus. As parents, you're supposed to instill that in your kids. That's what God has designed us to do. To instill him in our kids. That's what we're supposed to do. And they not our kids. I'm going to tell you that right now. So God came to me recently in a vision, and he was explaining to me that basically I'm like a carrier. He said, those are not my kids. He said, those are his kids. He said, those are his. He said, I'm just a carrier. So when I talk to my kids, like at a certain point, I play the role of a parent, but when they get to a certain age, I'm just a carrier. I was just a carrier for y'all. God is y'all parent. And God told me because he's their parent, he's the one that disciplines. He the one that disciplines. So he like, you just a carrier. He just allowed me to bring in 5 kids into the world, but them is not my kids. And I'm detached from him. Like he got me detached from him. And he explained my role. And he just classified me as a carrier. Those are not my kids. Those are his. And he would just give me this breakdown of just the dynamics of what it really is, instead of this illusion of what the earth tell you it is, which is a lie. God brought life into this world. He used me to bring life through this world, but those are not my kids. They are not my kids. And I stressed that to him too. I'm like, I'm just a carrier. I'm like, God is y'all parent. God is y'all parent. It ain't me. It's God. Because at a certain point, we all trying to walk that walk to get back to heaven. Me too. Y'all mama, we all on the same journey of life to try to get back to heaven. God just chose to use me as a carrier for y'all. So now we all got to try to make our way back. So that's kind of what I instill in my kids and stuff like that. Some people, they got the illusion that this mine. No. God said no. That is not your child. You can kind of try to mentally, create this mine. No. It was a gift from God. He allowed you to be a carrier. He allowed them to be in your life while on this earth. He felt like you was the perfect fit to get them to what they needed to be as far as getting back to him, and as far as like just having that perfect life. You would be the perfect parent for that. But at the end of the day, it's him. It's him. Don't take the credit from him. We got a way of pulling God out the equation. And it's him. God is y'all parent. I tell my kids all the time, God is y'all parent. I'm just a carrier. God came to me in a dream. He like, you just a carrier. He like, I'm the parent. I'm the one that disciplines. It's me. I'm the one that's gonna deal with them. It's me. So I be like, yeah, I'm just a carrier, y'all. Look, I'm in the house with my kids, and people think like you, like, ooh, you the mama. I'm like, I was just a carrier, y'all. God is the parent. God said he is the parent. He my parent too, man. So I'm a carrier for y'all, and we all got the same parent. So so figure it out. So, yeah. So he just saying that basically, as a parent, stop teaching your kids the culture of the world and start teaching them about him. He tell me that. That's your role as a parent, to teach them about him. Really, you're supposed to try to pull them out the culture and not have them so uprooted in the culture. Because they in the culture, they're just going to get caught up in everything that's attached to the culture. And it's not going to be a good thing. So, he said, just teach them his ways, stuff like that. He also speaking on, don't be deceived by Satan. Hell is real. And if you on earth and you deny him, you think you gonna go to heaven and just be like, ooh, hey, like everything cool? When you deny him through your ways, through your actions, through your lifestyle. All those are ways to indirectly deny God. So you think you're gonna be able to deny him on this earth, and then when it's time for you to go to where you go to eternity, wherever you're gonna be at eternally, and it's 2 places. You think you're going to sit there and deny him this whole time on earth and then get to heaven and be like everything cool? And you think you resting in peace after you deny him all while you was on this earth, through your ways, through your lifestyle? Like, Satan is a lie. Satan is a lie. God, like I said, God give different people different gifts. One of my gifts is I got access to the spiritual. So God allowed me to see people that's alive on earth right now, and they already dead. And he got me detached. So a lot of people are sensitive when it comes to death, but like I said, he already desensitized me. And It's a lot of people that's the walking dead right now. You already dead. And you living your life every day like you ain't dead. But it's already like in the spiritual, you already there. You ain't even here. You already done been dead, been assigned, everything has already been done. So while you on this earth, get yourself right. Because it's people he has already showed me. They alive right now. But they is dead. They have already been dead. They is dead. The spirit of death has already been called and put on these certain people. And they alive every day and they living their life and they walking around like they got forever to get it together. And it's already in motion. So, pray. Get yourself together. That's all I'm going to say on it. I'm not even finna disclose. Like, I'm not disclosing who and what he showed me. Because it didn't invoke fear. Because it's two things. It's either you got faith or fear. And if you ain't got no faith, then it becomes fear. So if I come to you and if I say, yeah, I see this, that, and you just fear just gonna come up on you. So I choose not to disclose who he showed me that has already died. But you just still walking around. It's only a matter of time. Everything in motion. That means time for your death is already started up, which means that, you know, it's in motion. So I'm just doing this video just to say, get yourself together. You don't get it like you think you get it. It's people that's walking right now. And they already been called to the other side. But they walking around right now. It ain't manifested yet. Time ain't caught up with what I'm seeing. I'm ahead of time. But when time catch up with it, it's going to manifest. That's when it's going to be manifested. I'm ahead of time. So I'm already seeing these people that has already been called out. And death has already been placed upon them. And if that's the case, live your life like it's your last. Live like it's your last. Get yourself together. If something ain't right with you, if you ain't right with God, if something just off with you, get yourself together because you really ain't got time like you think you got. And that's all I'm going to say on that. And that's all God want me to speak dealing with that. And it's not for me to disclose who it is. I can, but it's going to evoke fear in you. So why would you want to know if you're just going to be walking around scared? All you need to do is just live your life like you think you got it. And work on getting yourself right with God. So when that time comes, then you already know you in a better place. Because we all got to go. Everybody. The day that you born is the day that the time for death start for you. The day that you was born, everybody got a time that they got to die. And I'm the one that's speaking it because a lot of people don't want to speak on death. A lot of people don't want to speak on the truth. A lot of people don't want to speak on the fact that their loved ones is actually not in a good place, but in a bad place. A lot of people want to live this delusional lie. A lot of people want to walk around and it bring them peace and closure to believe a lie. Like it's just a coping mechanism for them. But the reality is what you believe in is way off from the truth. It ain't no truth in what you believe in. Ain't no truth in it. So, I'm just sitting here, y'all. Just telling y'all, get yourself together. Pray. Raise your kids up. Put God in your kids. Teach your kids about God. That'll be a form of protection for them when they get out in the world and they tempted by Satan himself and tempted by the ways of the world. Get your kids out the culture. Isolate your kids. Get them in the Bible. You know, do what you're supposed to do as a parent dealing with these kids so that, you know, just do what you're supposed to do as a parent dealing with these kids. Get them out the culture. God did not give you these kids for you to have these kids and be raising these kids up in this culture, which is demonic. God did not create you to be parents to bring your kids up in the culture. He gave you them kids so that you can raise them up and bring them up in him. So that's the two things he want me to speak on, y'all. He just said that, you know, a lot of people just not speaking the truth. It's like this tickling of the ear. It's like, ooh, you hear the blessing, so everybody want to hear, ooh, I'm be blessed, but you don't want to hear reality of what's really going on. And I'm just gonna be one of them people who he just speak on about the reality of what's going on. So I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Y'all get yourself together. I'm gonna continue to send prayers up. You know that, you know, people do, you know, get right with God and do what they supposed to do while they on that earth. Because while you living, God giving you one more chance to get it right. So y'all, let's just work on getting it right, all of us. And I'll talk to y'all later. Like, just generally, like, the scenario I was given is just the scenario most people gonna go through, as far as like getting into heaven, stuff like that. The way you live is the way it's gonna determine your outcome. But also, there are, exceptions to the rule. So although you might not live a certain way, you can be on your deathbed, because a lot of times once you cross over, you have all knowledge. So nothing is hidden from you. So you have total understanding. And sometimes if you're on your deathbed, in between, like, just dying, sometimes once that's revealed to you, you can cry out to God and repent in that split second, and He'll save you in that split second. Everybody not gonna have that opportunity on their deathbed to cry out and repent for all the wrong they did their entire life. And everybody not gonna have that opportunity on their deathbed to cry out for repentance. But there are certain circumstances where you could be on your deathbed, cry out to God, ask for forgiveness, and if your heart is right, God will forgive you. That means anything you did before then will be written off like you never did it. So that's one, exception to the rule of just bypassing this daily walk that, God wants us to do. He said to pray for others. Like, your grandmama can be praying for you. You could just be just so far off in the street in the world, and you had that praying grandmama who's praying over your soul. And and God will have favor and honor what she been praying over you, so to speak. So God said that, it's exceptions to the rule, but He don't want us so focused on the exception to the rule that we bypass the accountability and the part that we play with the choices that we make through our free will. So He don't want it to be so focused on all these little scenarios that can possibly happen where you still can get into heaven, and and those slim chances, you overlooking the huge chance of you getting there just by just walking the walk and just having a heart for God. Like, because you might not have the opportunity to be on your deathbed and cry out. You might not have that opportunity. So if you ain't got that opportunity, that opportunity may not be given to you. But while you living, the opportunity to get it right is given to you. While you living all day, every day, if God gave you another day to live, you got another day to get it right. So this opportunity being given to you. Depending on how you die, some people die immediately. You might not have that chance to cry out in this split second. Some people, they die slow death. You might have a chance to cry out in this second and be like, okay, Jesus, I believe you was the Son, and forgive me of my sins. And He will do it while you on your deathbed. But everybody might not have that opportunity. So why gamble and risk it? Like, why take that kind of risk? And you might not be one of the ones that got the opportunity to be on your deathbed and cry out, even though you lived your whole life in sin. You might not have that opportunity. But God said people do have that opportunity. He do get some people that opportunity. They didn't live their whole life one way, and then on their deathbed, they able to cry out to Him, and He'll forgive them. But everybody don't have that opportunity. Now, while we living this walk of life, we are given the opportunity right now. So why wait till then? And then, that's why I was just kind of saying, like, He would just give me the two different scenarios. He's like, it's not necessarily like everybody that just like walking their walk. Like, it's other circumstances that where people are allowed to hear me. He said, you cry out on your deathbed, you cry out to Him, if you given that opportunity, because you got to still be in the flesh. It got to be before you actually cross over. So that's a thin line right there. Like, that's a thin line to be gambling and playing with when you talking about eternity, when you can get it right now. But He said you can get it like that. He said you be on your deathbed, cry out. You can live your whole life one way and be on your deathbed, cry out to Him. And just like His words say, it can't go void. It's set in stone. And you could be saved on your deathbed. But that's a thin line, y'all. If y'all wanna walk that line, okay. That's a thin line right there. Because you can't, like, it gotta be before you die. So if you want to play with the seconds before you die to cry out to God, then okay, have fun with it. But you ain't gotta be like that. You can do it all day, every day. He giving you the chance to get it right. Well, you ain't gotta wait till the seconds before your death and you crossing over trying to cry out, and you might not even have the chance to cry out. Some people say when they be dying and stuff, they can't even scream, they can't cry out, they can't do nothing. So if you thinking you got the opportunity, like, yeah, this how it's gonna be, and when I die, I'm just gonna cry out to God, and He gonna save me because I cried out to Him on my deathbed. Some people say they can't even cry out. So it just depends on what's even going on, and if you would even be allowed to even cry out during that time. So you don't want to just be, you want to just kind of be safe with it. Like, you don't want to just be borderline playing with the seconds of the second like that, y'all. So he said that. And then he said sometimes you can have like a loved one, like a praying grandmama that pray for you and just been praying. And he said that those her prayers can, get you there. He said the prayers of your grandmama, your ancestors, your loved ones, they've been praying for you, and you just feel like, God ain't heard her crying. God did hear her cry and answered her cry. So, God said He do answer through the loved one, through the prayers too. Now, I don't know the dynamics because God didn't have to just get with me like He did Enoch and break this down. This is just a couple of scenarios. So it's a variable still in the equation, but you don't want to be walking that thin line and then you stuck in eternity because you tried to just wait to the last of the last, and you thought in your mind that you could do it, and you already figured it out, and you miscalculated somewhere. So you don't want to, when you playing with your soul or when you dealing with your soul, you don't want no miscalculations with the process. So y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go. Like I said, if God give me something to break this down and even more, then okay, I'll break it down even more to give you even more, what He want me to say. But He really was just speaking on, even though He want us to walk that walk, it is, people that have cried out on their deathbed that did not live for Him nothing throughout none. And they was able to cry out. He said, but everybody might not have the opportunity to cry out. So you don't even want to risk it. You don't want to risk it, y'all. But if you put in that position and the opportunity come, then shoot, what you got? Confess. If He give you the opportunity at that point in time, but everybody gonna be getting that opportunity. Everybody is not gonna be given that type of opportunity in that type of situation. And you don't want no miscalculations when you dealing with your soul. Because we already be figuring out, I could do this. I ain't got to do this. I could wait till I get this old. And then when I get 30, then I'll walk with God. But while I'm in my 20s, I'm going to do what I want to do. And then when I get 30, I'm going to slow it down a little bit and stop this and stop that. We all be having it figured out, y'all. But He said, don't figure that out. He said, don't put time in trying to figure that out, because you might miscalculate somewhere. And it might cost you your soul. So He said, don't do that. He said, just walk the walk, one day at a time. Do what you need to do, and He said, you good. You good. He said, when you be trying to, I'm trying to figure out the words, y'all. When you think you got it so figured out that you can, if I do this like this and that like that, and then something don't happen the way you want it to happen, you don't want to be stuck in a spot in eternity dealing with this, because you miscalculated somewhere, and He's giving you grace. If you living, He's actually giving you grace to get it right. Because we all can be dead, but He giving all us grace to get it right. So He said, accept His grace. Accept the grace that He's giving you. Use the grace to get it right. He's not giving you grace for you to live your life in vain. That's not your reasoning for being alive for extra day, or however long He chooses to let you live. It's not to be in vain, y'all. He said it's to get yourself together, get yourself right, get your family right. Do what He instructed you to do. Don't be disobedient. Stuff like that. So I'm gonna talk to y'all later. I'm just clarifying a little bit because Like, it's always people that just feel like they try to find the exception to the rule and apply it like a general rule. And what I'm speaking is just general rules. Of course, it's exceptions to get into heaven. Of course. And and I wait on God to give me all the exceptions. But he spoke on those few. But he don't want it to be so focused on those few that you overlook the general way of what you got to do to get there. Yeah, it's exceptions. But those exceptions is very slim, and it don't apply to everybody. Everybody not gonna be able to just be on their deathbed and just be like, okay, God, I forgive me of my sins. Somebody might be, I ain't even thinking no examples dealing with it. I'm prophetic, so I don't even want to speak nothing to it. I'm finna give an example, but I ain't even getting no example. It just do what you can to walk that walk. You got free will to do right. Don't be on your deathbed. Then when the truth is finally revealed, then you want to cry out at that point. Like, don't let it get to that point. Do it now. And that's all I got to say.